Yeah. What's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here continuing to cook up and break down some of this NBA action. Welcome back to Jay's NBA Jam Session. Money Making Monday, ladies and gentlemen. New week, new goals, new opportunities. We absolutely smashed last week, and we're just looking to keep momentum rolling forward into this one. Last night, I cashed my NBA Jam Session play of the night with the Golden State Warriors, man. It was a really good spot for him. Bounce back spot at home that also happened to be a quick revenge game. That team had lost 4 of the last 5, but returning back to Ball Holla. If you watched the WNBA layup session over the summer, you know about Ball Holla. We love betting on the Valkyries in Chase Center, and we love betting on the Warriors in Chase Center as well. Quick revenge spot. I thought it was a good spot for them to take the Pacers behind the shed, and that's what they did. I ain't gonna lie, I did get a little nervous when Curry got listed out. A couple of people, DM'd me and was like, are we cashing out? As I tell y'all all the time, I never cash out. I never get an early payout on a parlay, nothing like that. If I don't believe in it, I'm not placing it. So if I placed it, if I actually put my hard-earned money on that game, I mean, I believed in it, and I believe that it could cash in a multitude of ways, and that was kind of the thought process there last night with the Warriors, even with Curry getting listed out. So cashed that play last night. That was good. That was good. That was good. We also cashed with Minnesota. Thought it was a good spot for them to go beat up on Sacktown. We cashed with our favorite money-making team, the Oklahoma City Thunder Buddies. Love that team to death. I love that team with every bone in my body. I trust that team damn near with my life. We're down 20 early in that one. Still won and covered by double digits. Man, fading them is not fun. And there's a reason we love them, man. So shout out to the Oklahoma City Thunder Buddies. My only loss yesterday was the Milwaukee Bucks, and that was nasty. They were winning literally the entire game. Literally the entire game. Fell apart in the last, 2 minutes? Not only did they lose the game, they failed to cover. That was nasty. So that was just a bad beat. There will be a handful of those over the full course of a season. As long as we do our homework correctly and we're on the right side, betting it the right way, I can live with the result. So nice 3-1 night for me yesterday in the NBA. Looking to keep momentum rolling forward into tonight. We got a solid 9-game card, and I'm just here to let you guys know my thoughts, opinions, and how I see tonight's action playing out. Money Making Monday. New week, new goals, new opportunities. All I ask again is that you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. My favorite plays are over at Pickdawgz Premium. Those plays are the plays I personally have the most money on, the plays that allow me to live the lifestyle that I live, man. And if you want them, you can scoop them up over there. If not, you can continue to watch this show as I give you my thoughts, opinions on every single game on the board. So without further ado, let's do what we do, which is kick the crap out of the books betting hoops. There's a reason I have the #1 NBA betting podcast on the planet, views-wise and production. Let's get back to regular schedule programming. And without further ado, let's hop right into tonight's NBA action. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get her done. First game on the board. We got the Los Angeles Lakeshore Lakers out on the road facing the Charlotte Hornets. Hornets 7.5-point home underdogs, total 230.5. First, let's talk injuries. The Hornets coming in this game severely banged up. LaMelo Ball's out. Brandon Miller's out. Miles Bridges is game time decision. Josh Green is out. Grant Williams is out. The Hornets are just extremely banged up right now. On the other side, Austin Reeves is game time decision for the Lakers. LeBron James is still out. This is not a game I'm rushing to the window to bet. I do like the Lakers here in this one, though. As somebody who's higher on the Hornets than most, I think the Hornets are supposed to take that next step this season. It's hard to bet them with their injury report looking the way it is. 3 weeks in, this team is already being derailed by injury. It's nasty. The Lakers, coming off the 20-point loss to Atlanta on the road, should be motivated to come in here and beat up on a team they're head and shoulders better than. I like the Lakers. I'll lay the points here in our first game of the night, man. Next game up, we got the Washington Wizards out on the road facing the Detroit Pistons. Pistons, 12.5-point home favorites, total 235.5. The Pistons is balling, and fading them right now is not fun. This team is 8-2 straight up. They've won, 5 straight games, coming off a really good win yesterday over the Sixers. I want to fade them tonight, though. I don't think it's a great spot for Detroit on a back end of a back-to-back with travel, following a competitive game, laying double digits. You're asking for it, laying the points here with Detroit. With the way they're playing, do I blame you for laying it? No, I understand why you would want to, and I would lay it here if they weren't traveling on a back end of a back-to-back. Betting the Wizards is not fun. I don't want to bet the Wizards, but I do believe it is the right play. Wizards pissed me off the other night not covering against Dallas. They had every chance and opportunity to. They were in that game the entire way through, was winning the game, I felt like, majority of the game, and pooped it in the last few minutes of that game. So betting the Wizards isn't fun. I understand that. Fading Detroit, as hot as they are, is not fun. I understand that as well. But I do believe Washington plus the points is the right play with Detroit on a back end of a back-to-back with travel following a competitive game yesterday, laying double digits. We'll see what happens. Next game up, we got the Orlando Magic at home at the crib, laying 2.5 points on the Portland Trailblazers. The Orlando Magic remain the number one team on top of the do not bet list. Man, yesterday was another chance and opportunity for them to come off the list. And what did they do? They laid another egg. If you know me, if you're an OG here on this show, you know the Orlando Magic are one of my favorite money-making teams, but I had to put them on the list for safety for myself, so I didn't continue to throw units away on the Magic. The DNB is just a tool we use to help us not lose money. Yesterday, I felt like was another favorable spot for Orlando at home to get a nice solid win, and they laid an egg, and that's why they're on the DNB. Man, this team is 4-6 on the season. This team is not reminiscent of the teams we have come to know and love, and I just couldn't continue to throw money away on them. So until this team gives me reason to bet on them, I cannot bet on them no matter how good the spot is for them. You feel me? And I don't like the spot for them tonight on a back end of a back-to-back following a competitive game yesterday. Portland comes into this game with the rest advantage. I like Portland. Portland is a under-the-radar money-making team, and I think tonight is another spot for them to come in here and not only cover, but win the game outright. I think Portland matches up really well with Orlando. Portland has some really good wins under their belt already this season. They've had one of the toughest schedules to start their season of any team in the NBA, and I like how they've come and played through it. They've had drama. They've played well through it with their coach getting arrested and all that, new head coach. Like, despite it all, Portland has played well, and I think they have a legitimate chance to win this game outright. I really wish I was getting up and over a bucket in this one. I would love it, man. I would love it. But even still, getting points at all, I think, is a good spot to be here with Portland, an underrated, undervalued team going up against an overrated, overvalued team. And the overrated, overvalued team is expected to win, and they're not in a favorable spot. I'm going to take the Trailblazers plus the points here in this one. Keep it rolling. Got the Cleveland Cavaliers out on the road facing the Miami Heat. Heat 7.5-point home underdogs. I like the Cavs in this one. I don't like the spot for the Cavs. The Cavs are coming off a pretty significant homestand. I do believe the Cavs are head and shoulders better than Miami and what Miami will be fielding tonight. Keep an eye on the injury report. Bam Adebayo still out for Miami. Max Strus is still out for Cleveland. Larry Nance Jr.'s game time decision for Cleveland. Cleveland has played some good basketball. They've won 4 straight. Just beat the Chicago Bulls 128-122 at home. Failed to cover in that game. Before that, they blew out Washington, beat up on Philadelphia, and beat up on the Hawks. Again, a lot of that was all at home, though. I do think they win and cover here. Miami has played a little bit above its pay grade. I don't think they match up well with Cleveland whatsoever. Cleveland has the Twin Towers down low, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, and with Bam Adebayo out of the lineup, I think Cleveland has a significant advantage down low, and that's why I like them laying this extended of a number. So it's kind of my thought process here on this one. Miami is a grit and grind team, so we'll see if they're able to grit and grind and keep it close. I just don't like the matchup. Looking at X's and O's, I think Cleveland has a severe mismatch down low. I think they take advantage of it. I think the second chance points and things like that that the Cavs will get will propel them up and over this number. Give me Cleveland. Laying the points here in this one. Next game up, we got the San Antonio Spurs out on the road facing your Chicago Bulls. Bulls are 3.5-point home underdogs in this one. These are two teams with records that are better than I think most people would have thought. If you would have told people 10 games into the season, the Bulls are 6-3 and the Spurs, or 9 games into the season, I'm sorry, the Bulls are 6-3 and the Spurs are 7-2, I think people will be like, for real? Really? Both teams have played well, though, and we got to give them credit. San Antonio, they won their last game against the Pelicans. They failed to cover. They won at home, though, 126-119. The game before that, they were underdogs at home and beat the Rockets outright, 121-110. They've won 3 of their last 5, beat Miami at home, 107-101. Where we've seen them struggle is on the road. So I said they've won 3 of their last 5. The 2 games they lost were both out on the road. They lost to Phoenix, 130-118 on the road, and they lost to the Lakers, 118-116 out on the road. Spurs are a good team, but I think they're overrated and overvalued, personally. I think they've benefited from a light schedule, and I don't trust them laying multiple possessions on the road on good teams. So with that being said, I'm on the Chicago Bulls plus the points in this one tonight. I think this is a good spot for Chicago to come back home and get a bounce back win. We've seen Chicago lose back-to-back games. They lost to Milwaukee on the road, 126-110. They lost to Cleveland on the road, 128-122. What we've seen from Chicago, though, is they haven't played great on the road, but they've been dominant at home. And I think coming back home is a really good spot for them, especially getting over a bucket in our back pocket. Good buy low spot here on Chicago, coming off back-to-back losses. Good sell high point here on San Antonio, coming off back-to-back wins. And both of them, Chicago's returning back home where we love them. San Antonio's heading on the road where we don't. Good spot. And we're getting up and over a bucket. Give me the Bulls plus the points here in this one. Keep it rolling. Next game up, we got the Milwaukee Bucks out on the road facing the Dallas Mavericks. Mavericks, 2.5-point home underdogs, total 236.5. The Dallas Mavericks are the number 2 team on the do not bet list. They're also the number 1 team on the we have to fade this team list. The Mavs are a bad basketball team, and they're worse than I think the general masses understand. And it's going to take more than a lucky-ass winning cover over the Washington Wizards, the team that's 29 of 30 in my power rankings, to want to get back and jump on this team. I know it's not a great spot for Milwaukee on a back end of a back-to-back with travel following a competitive game that they lost, that they had no business losing. I get it. It's not a great spot. And I will say, keep an eye on the injury report. It would not shock me whatsoever if Giannis Antetokounmpo got listed as out as the day progresses. Right now, though, he's not on the injury report, but that could change in a blink of an eye. We know that injury manipulation goes on in the NBA all the time. Keep an eye on the injury report. I say all that to say I don't really care, though. Giannis, no matter what the injury report looks like later on today, I will be on the Bucks. The Mavs are that bad of a basketball team. There's reports came out over the weekend that ownership is starting to feel the pressure. I bet y'all are, man. We not playing with y'all, fam. We not. You traded a generational superstar. The Mavs are now the worst. What are they, 14th in the West? This team is as bad as it gets. Offensively, their offensive numbers are disgusting. Yes, they played decently in their last game, but that was against probably the worst defensive team in the league, the Wizards. Not ready to crown them. And don't let Giannis play in this game. He's going to have an absolute field day. If Giannis plays in this game, I like his points over all that, man. So I understand not a favorable spot for Milwaukee on a back end of a back-to-back with travel following an extremely competitive game. That's why the line is as close as it is. Dallas has the rest advantage, but even despite that, the Mavs are underdogs for good reason. They are that bad. I'm going to take Milwaukee. Lay the points here in this one. We got the Suns, 8.5-point home favorites over the New Orleans Pelicans, total 226.5. Suns, man, playing some basketball. They're starting to look like the team I told y'all I thought they would look like. I told y'all I think the Suns are going to be better than people think. I think a lot of people thought that they lost Kevin Durant and this team is going to be ass, but I didn't think that. I did not think that whatsoever. I thought they would be much better defensively with Kevin Durant off their team. I never felt like offense was their problem. Defense was their problem. They couldn't get stops. Now they're getting stops and they're still putting up, I wouldn't say the same offensive production, but the losing a Hall of Fame great like Kevin Durant, you would think the drop off is way bigger than what it is. The Pelicans severely banged up. They are that bad. I like the Suns here in this one. At home, I think they have a solid game plan. I think they lock up New Orleans, and I think they win this game by double digits. So give me Phoenix, laying the points here in this one. We got the Utah Jazz at home at the crib with the Minnesota Timberwolves rolling in. Minnesota is on a back end of a back-to-back with travel. We did cash with them yesterday. They blew the doors off of Sacramento, 144-117. Minnesota's playing well. They've won 4 of their last 5. They've been playing well here on the road. This is going to be Minnesota's 5th road game, last 6 games. They've only lost 1 of those road games. They beat Charlotte, beat Brooklyn, lost to New York, beat up on Sacramento. Granted, the level of competition of those 3 teams isn't great, but it can't be ignored how good the Timberwolves are playing on the road. I want to fade them tonight, though. It's just a play on the spot. It's a play on the situation. I have to grab the points here with Utah. The spot for Utah is bounce back game at home. That also happens to be a quick revenge game, fading a team on a back end of a back-to-back with travel. So we already know Utah is one of the toughest home venues to play. Last year, that wasn't the case because they were outright tanking. But one thing that I want to remind y'all of early in the NBA season is bad teams don't know they're bad yet, and bad teams aren't outright tanking yet. We're going to get to that point once we get into 2026, get to late All-Star break. That's when teams start to tank. You start to see their rosters start to reflect that. But right now, you still got guys playing for contracts, still got guys playing for new teams. You got all that. Guys still playing for their livelihoods. And the Jazz at home tonight, I think this is a good spot to grab the points with them. I want to fade Minnesota on a back end of a back-to-back with travel. We cashed with them yesterday, fading them today. Good spot to take Utah. It honestly wouldn't shock me if the Jazz won this game outright. It wouldn't shock me whatsoever. Last and final game of the night, we got the Los Angeles Clippers at home at the crib with the Atlanta Hawks rolling in. Hawks coming to this game off a really good win. They beat the Los Angeles Lakers last time we seen them. That was a 20-point win. The game before that, they laid an egg and lost to Toronto on Cup night, 109-97. They've played their last 3 games at home. I like the Clippers here in this one, man. I know this team has been super disappointing. They've been pissing us off, bro. They were my play of the night on Saturday night, and they laid an egg. They did not come through for us. They lost 114-103 to Phoenix. I thought it was a really good spot for them. It was a bounce-back game at home that also happened to be a quick revenge game. I thought the Clippers would show up in that one. They did not. I'm signing myself back up on them tonight, though. I trust the Clippers at home, man. This is a team that has covered up and over 60% of their games in the Intuit Dome, where they have an unfair home court advantage that no other team has. Coming off of losing 4 straight, they've lost 6 of 7. This team needs a win, and I think they get it tonight. Not as good spot for Atlanta, having to travel way across country. Clippers, bounce back spot at home. It's their 5th home game, last 6 games. Coming off an ugly loss, they need one. I think they get it. I'm going to lay the points with the Clippers here in our last and final game of the night. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's all. That concludes another episode of Jay's NBA Jam Session. I appreciate each and every one of you that continue to tune in, watch these shows, and watch these episodes. All I ask is that you smash that like button for me. You subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as I always say, man, if you're rocking with me, rock with me. I'm active on Instagram and Twitter all day long. There's a link for both in the description below. And of course, I have premium plays over at the site. We dominated last week, man, and we're just looking to keep momentum rolling forward into this one. New week, new goals, new opportunities, man. Again, my top plays are over at Pickdawgz Premium. If you want to get on the plays that I personally have the most money on, the plays that I love the most, the plays that allow me to live the lifestyle that I live, you can hop on something long-term at Pickdawgz Premium. You can scoop up a daily package. However you want to do it, you can do it. Link for all of that in the description below. And if you need help, just DM me on Twitter, Instagram. Both of those links are in the description below. I should be able to get to you in a pretty timely manner and help you with pretty much whatever you need help with, man. So I'm here for y'all. Appreciate y'all more than y'all know. I love y'all. Let's make this a good week, just as good as last week was. Money making Monday. Appreciate y'all, man. I'm out of here. Peace.